Training for a long distance triathlon, or in fact any endurance event, requires a few things. It requires a commitment to the grind, to getting the training done. It requires early mornings or late evenings, basically flexibility. It requires consistency and training smart, doing what needs to be done to keep you in the game. But also it requires an understanding, an acceptance that somewhere in your training cycle things may not go your way. Illness or injury are not inevitable, but they are a possibility when you're pushing your body to do and be better all of the time. So how do you approach these situations? How do you overcome them? Because that's exactly what happened to me this week. No training due to illness. Excellent. I have your attention because it's the start of the video. So while I have your attention, I'm going to let you know that I am starting 2 competitions giving away things worth over £300. And you really need to do very little in order to win those things. So stick with me. Hopefully, if you've been part of the Messhap community up to now, then you'll know that this channel was never started for any other reason than to give back knowledge or whatever. So money is not the motivation. I already give all of my ad revenue to charity, and that's £600 so far this year. Cha-ching! Which I'm very proud of, and it's again thanks to you. But again, I want to give more back, and I've got an idea. And the first one is simple. For doing very little other than tagging 3 friends on our This Messy Happy Instagram account, we will put the post out at the same time as this video, then you stand to win a £100 voucher to Up and Running, which by the way, I haven't asked Up and Running to donate to me. I've paid for out of my own money, but I want to support them. So you can win £100 worth of vouchers that you can put towards shoes, clothes, running gear, whatever. But you need to go to Instagram to find that post and follow us there so that you can find out what the competition rules are. The second one is a bigger ask, but it's a bigger reward. Let me just introduce you to our first ever This Messy Happy technical t-shirt and vest. Now these have really taken us a long time to design and get to the point where we feel like we love them, and we do right now, and thanks to Scimitar Sport they're becoming a reality. So what I asked Scimitar Sport to do was to take note of the first 100 people that buy either a t-shirt or a vest. They can't give us the information because of data protection, but what they're going to do is they're going to take note of those first 100 people. Then they're going to randomise those first 100 people, taking out any of my family because they're not allowed to be in this draw. That would be weird. But other than that, non-family members, they're going to randomise those 100 people, and I'm going to give the person that gets drawn out of the randomometer, if that's a word, the option of a number of top range running shoes, their choice. The only other shoe that I don't think at this point I can properly stretch to are the Alpha Flies, but I am willing to offer the Vaporfly Next Percent 2s, whatever they are, the next level down, the next big Nike carbon plated shoe. You could go for the Adios Adizero Pro, you could go for the Meta Racers from Asics. You can choose the trainer that you want and I will buy it for you. All you have to do is to be one of the first 100 people to buy the merchandise, to buy the This Messy Happy t-shirt or vest. And again, all of the details will be in the Instagram post as well. The only rules other than actually buying the t-shirt or vest to be in the draw are that you have to follow us on Instagram and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And the link to our Scimitar online shop is in the description of this video, so check it out. Now, on with the training, on with the content. You know, the weird thing is, I know that's a horrible thing to do, but Mary blows her nose exactly the same way. It's like a mating call. It's like it was meant to be. But you probably gathered by that nose blow that I'm not in a good spot, and it's what I want to talk about this week, because illness and injury in training, when you're training for endurance events, I think they're not inevitable. I'm not saying that, but they are likely. I don't think I've ever got through a full training cycle without one of the two, and I actually count myself quite fortunate that this time it's illness, not injury. So what's happened, you might ask? Well, I am in week 2 of 3 of hard work, of more miles, and I got a sinus infection. It started with hay fever with the Isle of Wight video that you will have seen on Wednesday, and it's just spiraled from there, and it just feels like my head's in a vice with a little man inside there trying to punch my eyes out. And thank you for all of your suggestions about how to treat it, but trust me, I should be a pro at this, because I have had hay fever for all of my life. I have prescription nasal sprays, I take antihistamines, I've had a nose operation when I was 18. This is something that I've just had to learn to deal with, but sometimes it turns into a sinus infection, and it just, even walking, the impact of walking feels like someone's punching you in the side of the head. Training has been a no-go. But if you're in the same boat, or if you've been injured, or if you've got a different illness, I'm here to tell you, I genuinely believe it is in no way the end of the world. In fact, if you want to spin a positive on it, it might even be a positive. But before we get into that, something very exciting has happened to me this week. A friend of mine, Sam, who, if you don't listen to the Fitness Freaks podcast, then it's a recommendation, just throwing it out there. But Sam, George and I do a podcast of all things running and triathlon, and just pick the brains of people that we love. But Sam has very kindly sorted me out with the Incus Nova, which is a device that is going to ensure that maybe I might not flail around so badly in my iron distance race, which is, by the way, 7 weeks away. 4 weeks of training, and the rest is recovery and taper. But in 7 weeks I have an iron distance triathlon, long distance, and I need to get my swimming to a place that I can get out of the water and not feel bedraggled, and the Incus Nova is hopefully going to do that. And I actually got it yesterday and I unboxed it, and if you are in any way a data geek, by the way, they're coming up with a running one soon, so stay tuned, because running one's not out yet, but it will be, and it's gonna be awesome. I'm not paid by them, by the way. They haven't put any requirement on me to make this. I am making it out of excitement. As you know, my swimming leaves a lot to be desired, and excuse the chest, and I haven't swum for over a year, really, not regularly, and the little contraption you just saw, it's like a tiny little waistcoat. Uh-oh, did I order the wrong size? I think it is supposed to be like this. And this contraption here is called the Incus, or it's called Nova from Incus. Incus is the company. Now this little thing could change the way you swim and, by the way, run. This is backed by some pretty serious athletes. So they've sent me this to trial in the pool, get some juicy data, and try and save me from looking like a person that's being electrocuted in the water rather than a swimmer in an iron distance triathlon. So you know I believe in sharing everything on this channel, like not hiding anything, and I have been in a world of hurt. You can probably hear it in my voice. I've been in a world of hurt since Sunday. Obviously I did that brick session that you may have seen when I got back from the Isle of Wight, but after that I just had not the world's worst hay fever, that is very over dramatic then, but really bad hay fever to the point that it feels like flu, and that has turned into a sinus infection. I haven't been able to train, but you know what, it's okay, because the message of the video here that I want to convey, or I want to at least discuss, is should you train when you're ill? Alright, you mustn't judge me, but the crop top is on. I'm about to get my swim analysis done. I can speak to the chaps at Incus tomorrow to find out just how poor my stroke is, and then we'll get back to whether I think you should train when you're ill or not, or how you negotiate illness in training, because it is something that you're gonna have to go through sometimes, like I'm going through now. as I thought, and I feel okay after it, and I hope I've got some good data for Incas to review, but I now have that working day before I can get home and truly relax, and I notice now that the camera is on a tilt, so I apologise. And we need to talk about how you approach training if you're injured or ill, or at least how I approach it and how I think it's best approached, but you know, it's a discussion. Energy! Energy!
You know how we can get energy?
How?
What's in your pocket?
Oh, isn't that a Peter McKinnon segment? What's in your pocket? It is.
3 weeks.
These haven't been in my pocket for 3 weeks. It's
been 3 weeks since they were in your pocket.
Energy! I'm trying to put energy into this because I really believe that this segment that you all know and love requires energy. And this segment is called, Mary?
Car chat.
Just said it too quick. No? Well, we'll see what we do with it. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Welcome back to Car Chat. We have 2 things to discuss. The first thing is the results of my swim style analysis, the chat with the guys. We'll just run over that very quickly. I'll probably want to do a complete video on the benefits of it. And then we want to talk about how I really believe you should approach training when you are ill and injured, because we have a theory behind it, and it's probably worth talking about. So, very quickly, Mary, did you know my swim analysis told me that I very much over-rotate on my right side and lose propulsion on the right hand because of said rotation?
Well, I said that I thought that would be a thing.
Oh.
Does that mean when your right hand's in the water or when your right hand's back?
It's when I'm rotating with my right shoulder up.
That's what I thought.
And the pull is going down.
Yeah, you roll over too much.
I roll over. But moving on to the illness thing, I have a theory of whether you should train when you're ill or injured, and the answer is no. Don't bother. There's a saying that every session is crucial, and yet no sessions are crucial, and I really stand behind that, and I really firmly believe it. It's the kind of mindset that, yes, you hit every single session that you can, but you don't sweat it if you can't, because what's behind all of the sessions?
Consistency.
Consistency. You were scared.
Got it right.
Yeah, I was going to say you were scared you weren't going to answer that right, weren't you?
I've been the same, because since my ultra, getting a bit boring now, but I've been resting quite a lot. And I know that in the long term that's going to be better, and I've just been getting more consistency back this week. Had a lovely run this morning with friends. Didn't know how far we would run or where we would go. It was just like a really nice meander around all the fanciest roads of where we live, and it was really nice. Just no pressure and like gentle. I've been kind to myself, and that's what you've had to do this week.
I mean, look at it this way. This is how I look at it, is that if you were ill and you tried to train, the quality of that session would be pretty low. There wouldn't be much benefit from it, and you would probably knock yourself back, set yourself back a little bit.
Yeah.
It's far kinder to yourself to take a step back and go, do you know what? It's short term, taking away from training for long term benefit and health.
Yeah, like for example, I feel if you tried to go out and run today, you would just feel worse, and then you'd be even worse tomorrow. Yeah,
I've got nothing left in me at the moment, and for the first time, probably for a long time, I'm alright with it. I'm alright with not training. Usually I would be chomping at the bit, and I worked it back, and actually I swam on Monday, which is probably what tipped me over the edge, but I swam on Friday, so I really actually just haven't trained for 3 days.
Yeah,
I've hit almost every single session since the start of November.
Yeah, so we added that up. That's like 7 months of pure consistency, maybe even 8 months.
Yeah.
So, like 3 days, you're much better having the rest and getting the recovery in to get over the illness quicker.
Absolutely. It's all about just playing the long game, which we always talk about, isn't it? Is being in it for life. It's not the short-term stuff. Why train when ill if you're going to knock yourself back out for another 5, 6, 7 days? It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So be kind to yourself. You know, I know all these people are like, oh no, I can train through anything. You probably could. I probably could. But why? Why would you want to?
Yeah.
You're supposed to do it for life.
Yeah.
So there is exciting stuff in the pipeline, and this channel is all about being real. And are you going to buy the This Messy Happy t-shirt or vest? Because if you do, you do stand a good chance of winning some very, very nice trainers, right?
I'm looking forward to getting my vest.
I just hope that we build a community and have like almost like a team kit.
See you on Instagram.
See you on Instagram. Enter that competition for a £100 voucher. That's an easy one.
In it to win it.